Morning. It is Monday morning, couple minutes behind, but I told y'all I was gonna be showing up for this Monday morning motivation, Monday morning chat, I don't know what I'm gonna call it. But it's interesting because today I'm actually gonna talk about health goals and I'm feeling sick. So here I am. This is going to be something that I do every Monday. I'm going to start it between 9:15 and 9:30. Honestly, it just depends on what time I get home from dropping the kids up at school. I got stuck behind a garbage truck, so I got home a couple minutes late. And today I'm going to be talking about creating health goals for you and your family without feeling like you have to do it all. We're going to talk about how you can use habit stacking to get there. So I see Andrea's here, Maria's here. Hello, Erica, CJ, Caitlin. Hey, Jen, good morning, everybody. So one of the things that I did the other day was I went through my goals, I went into my planner, and I looked at where I was at for January because we're halfway through the month almost. And so I do this every single week where I look at my goals, I see where I'm at, but I think there's something about just kind of like looking halfway through the month and saying, okay, where am I adjusting? So if you've created any health goals for 2020, put it in the comments. I'd love to know what they are. And we'll talk about how you can create some today. One of my health goals is to kick this congestion to the curb. I'm so over it. But I've been sick all weekend and I'm feeling a little bit better today. And so I feel like I can talk about health. One of the things that I think is important when you're making health goals is something that is going to impact you guys like long term, like you and your family. Hey, Caitlin, good morning. I see Barbara here too. Good morning, everybody. I used to like obsess over the number on the scale. I think many women, I mean, I don't know about you, but like many of us do because it's what society tells us we're supposed to be doing. And I felt like if I wasn't a certain number or a certain BMI, I don't think I've ever been an average BMI. I'm only 5'1" 3/4". I'll take that 3/4. So for me, like at my weight, like I've always just been overweight or obese. And that BMI for so long told me that I was worthy or not. And it wasn't until I was pregnant that I realized that weight got nothing to do with it. So before I had Ariana, I had lost 70 pounds and I'd gotten the lowest I've ever been, and I still was considered overweight, which is so interesting. But it was definitely like the lowest I've ever seen on a scale. I then got pregnant, gained about 40 pounds, lost it, and then I got pregnant with Isaiah and I gained it, and I'm still trying to like lose that weight. But it wasn't until I was pregnant with Ari that I realized that the number did not matter. It was all about being healthy for me, like for the long term. And like, I get it. People say that and you could say like, this isn't like real, but it's true. Like being healthy so that I can be a mom and a grandma one day and just live this life that I want, to have the energy. If you have kids, like, you know, it's hard to have the energy to keep up with them. And when I became pregnant was the first time I ever exercised just for me. I'd always exercised to lose weight. The point of exercise for me was, I don't know, maybe, and you can hit like if you're like, yep, I agree. Like it had always been, I want to exercise so that I can lose weight. And then I became pregnant and I was like, well, I need to exercise because I want a healthy pregnancy. I know that if I'm in better shape when I give birth, it'll be easier, like all those things. And that is when my like mindset switched around creating health goals. I've stopped. It's been 2 or 3 years now since I've actually made a health goal that has anything to do with the scale. My health goals instead have to do with creating healthy habits for me and my family. So Init's here, good morning. Rebecca joined us. Jen says her health goal is consistent sleep, 7 to 8 hours. And y'all, let me tell you, I do not get enough sleep. I do not get enough sleep. But lately things have been better. I bit the bullet and have been closing my kid's door at night. I saw Tamiko just get on. Tamiko, you'd be really proud of me. She is a sleep consultant and I finally did it. And I closed my kid's door and guess who stays in their bed all night? It's been 7 days and my children don't sleep in my room anymore and it's just been fabulous. But I'm still not getting enough sleep. So that's a health goal that I've really, really been wanting to do. This is how I've addressed goals when it comes to health and wellness with my family. I do pick my own personal ones. For me, exercise has just become a habit, so I don't actually create goals around exercise anymore because it's just something that I do every day. But the healthy goals for me are up here. So my health goal for this year is, it's not even like a SMART goal. It's got nothing to do with that. I literally just want food to like stop controlling me. Like I'm over giving into my cravings and I'm over emotional eating. Like I'm done with it. And so that's kind of my goal this year. But I did also want to make goals for my family. And I'm going to share this too. Oh, Caitlin says, do I still do Beachbody? So yeah, so I still do Beachbody. I'm a part of a group. I'm not super actively coaching, but I work out to Beachbody workouts every single day, and I have for the past 7 years. So that has been the workout I do. The Shakeology and the workouts have been something that has been completely consistent in my life, always. So even because I've branched off to do a purpose-driven mom, I still will do that because I completely believe in it. Now, you got to find what works for you, but I found that trying to get to a gym, it ain't going to happen. But I can work out from 7 to 7:45 every morning with enough time to grab a quick shower and get out the door for school. I'm cool with that. And that's been my my plan. So I do recommend that if you don't have a fitness goal, you make one. But it doesn't have to be all or nothing. You don't have to jump in and say, oh, I'm going to run a half marathon and I've never run anything before. That's why those plans, Couch to 5K, why they work so well. I want to recommend that you use habit stacking, which is where you're slowly taking a goal and growing it. So for example, if you have a health goal and you wanted to run this half marathon, or you wanted to fit into a pair of jeans, and that's, I honestly, I think that's probably the closest to my health goal now, is I'm so cheap and I don't want to buy new clothes. And I have all these pants sitting there, like 4 pairs. I tried them on, they're so close to fitting. And that's it for me. I just don't want to buy new pants. Anyone else like cheap and you're like, I just don't want to buy any new clothes? That is where I'm at right now with my health goals. And so if that's your goal and you're like, I just want to be healthier, where do I get started? A lot of times mom will say, like, where do you start? I always recommend you pick one thing and you work on it for the whole week. So say you're going to work on water. Let's get focused on water. I'm just going to drink half my body weight in ounces of water. That's all I'm going to do for the entire week. I'm going to do it really well. And then the next week, if I feel like I did it to the level I wanted to, if my goal was, 6 out of 7 days, I did 5 out of 7. I'm like, all right, cool. I feel like I'm close to my goal. Then you add something to it. So then you're also working on your water, but then the that second week, you're doing water, and then maybe you start exercising 3 times a week for just like 20 minutes. Then next week, you add something else in. So you've got the water, you've got the exercise. Now you're like, I'm gonna really focus on a healthy breakfast. Now listen, whatever happens at lunch, snacks, dinners, it is what it is. I'm not gonna beat myself up over it. But what I am gonna do is I'm gonna focus on what can I do for breakfast. And each week you slowly grow that. This is how you create a lifestyle change and not just jump from diet to diet. This is why if you've ever started a plan on Monday and said you were gonna be super extreme and do all these things, and then by Wednesday, you're like, I'll just wait till next Monday. I'll just try it again Monday. This is why we fail, because we overwhelm ourselves. So I want you to sit and I want you to make a health goal for yourself, whatever it is. So if Jen's goal here is 7 to 8 hours of sleep, and maybe she's only getting 4 hours of sleep right now consistently, or 5 hours, which is more like what I'm getting. So I'm working on it, but maybe that's where you're at. So instead of saying, I'm gonna just get 8 hours of sleep, which is a huge change, right? Like a huge change to your schedule. If you're only getting 5 hours of sleep, that means you're going to bed 2 hours earlier, sleeping in 2 hours, like that's a big change. Can you just move it by a half hour? Instead of, can I get 5.5 hours of sleep? And then see how that goes for a couple days. Then can you get 6 hours? And then you change for a couple days, and then and you grow it slowly. That's how you're gonna make changes. That's the exact same way you learn how to be a morning person, right? Instead of saying, I'm gonna wake up at 4 a.m. every day, if you're getting up at 8 a.m., you say, I'm gonna wake up at 7:30 this week, and then next week, 7, and then you slowly train your body. Now, good morning, Vicky, I see Vicky here. The other thing I wanna recommend to you is to do this when it comes to your kids. So one of the things I am really big on this year is just the food that my kids are taking in. Like, I don't know what happens over the holidays, sugars and the food additives, and it's crazy. And it just feels unhealthy, and I'm noticing their behavior starting to spiral. So what I've decided to do is, I did this last year too in January, is decrease the amount of like processed snacks that I bring into the home. So I wrote down a list of all of the snacks that I buy each week. And it wasn't a ton, we don't snack a lot, but it was like I was buying this was last year when I did it, but it was like 2 boxes of granola bars and pretzels and veggie straws and what else was it? It was like yogurt and then pouch, you know what I mean? Like there was like 8 things I was buying. And I said, I'm tired of like buying all these processed things. Like I want to just make things homemade if we want them, or just eliminate it. Like we don't need to buy 2 things of Goldfish every week, right? Like they'll deal with one. Like kids don't need that many choices. And we're also wasting so much money, and then the packaging, and it's a whole mess. So I wrote down everything. I said, this is everything that I'm buying for the week. And then this week I'm gonna buy 1 less. So instead of buying 2 bags of Goldfish, I bought 1 bag of Goldfish. And then the next week, instead of buying 2 boxes of granola bars, I just bought 1. And I did this last year and until like the end of February, until I got down to buying like 4 core snacks for them. They got like yogurt, veggie straws, I think it was like those like pouches, you know what I mean? And there was like crackers, like saltines. And then they still had like vegetables and string cheese and like fruit to snack on, but those were like the pre-processed stuff that I was buying. And if we wanted something else, if they wanted cookies, if they wanted granola bars, any of that sort of, I chose to make it homemade. And not only did it help my budget, but it also allowed us to have less options, and it allowed me to get better things in my kids. This works because it allows your kids not to freak out because you decide that all of a sudden, like, nobody's eating sugar. Like, I really want to cut every like bit of sugar out of my house right now, but I know that if I want to get everybody on board with it, I got to do it slow and steady, right? I have to slowly like just start to eliminate things until they don't notice it. And so I recommend that if you're making health goals for you or your family, what I would like you to do is I want you to pick your goal, and I want you to pick the next 4 weeks and pick 4 small steps that you can do to get there. Whether it's exercising for 10 minutes 3 days a week, and then 20 minutes 3 days a week, and then 30 minutes 3 days a week, and then 30 minutes 4 times a week, right? Like, break those down. I gave the example with Jen's sleep goal. I give you a couple other examples with kids' eating habits. Go ahead and plan out the next 4 weeks in advance. Pre-planning is my jam. It is what I recommend everybody do. Pre-plan out those next couple weeks because it's gonna allow you to have focus on where you're going and make a health goal for you. If you need extra tips though, I'm gonna share the video on Facebook into my Facebook group, so you can come over to the Facebook group. You can continue the conversation with us there, and I would love to hear about your health goals and how you're gonna break them down. Also, next week, and I'll put it in the comments over on Facebook, and then I'll put it up in my bio, I think on Instagram. On Monday is a mini summit, the National Moms Summit for Health and Fitness, held by Christine Archer of Beauty Fit. I'm one of the 10 presenters. I'm speaking. You can get an absolutely free ticket if you'd like to come. It's all day Monday. I think every, like, I want to say 45 minutes, a new video is available, and you can really learn how to create health goals for yourself. So just go to apurposedrivenmom.com/National Moms, with an S, Moms Summit, and you can grab a free ticket. Otherwise, I will see you over in the Facebook group, and don't forget that we'll be here every Monday morning, just giving some more tips, some motivation to get you going on your week. I hope you have a fabulous week, and I would love to know what is a health goal that you're working on for the year and how you're gonna break it down. So make sure you come and tell me, and I'm gonna say goodbye here over on Instagram, and then over on Facebook, I'm just gonna remind you that I'm gonna share this into the Facebook group, and then we're gonna continue the conversation today. If you wanna come, you can join the group. I'll put the link down here. You can join the group absolutely for free. Come on over and join this conversation, and we're gonna talk about our health goals and just all other things that we need for our busy mom life. Otherwise, I will see you next Monday morning for another morning show. Have a good one, guys, and have a great week.